Welcome back, guys. It's been a little while. I've been kind of busy, to be honest with you. I did say that I was gonna do this video, so I am gonna do it. Just to, quick. Yeah, see, look, I have beaten the game twice now. One as Dubert and twice as Equinox there. So yeah, this is significantly later in the day. So significantly later in time, I have, this is actually New Year's Eve. I'm recording this, New Year's Eve at 2 in the morning. This just happens to be the best time for me to do this, so here we are. How are you guys doing? It's, I haven't exactly been active. Like I said, I've been a little busy. Things have changed quite drastically since, we moved to the new place, so that's just kind of how it is. I am trying to get out of it. There's a lot of projects that I want to start. What's up? Oh, hey, Dubert, what's up? There's a lot of projects I want to start on YouTube now. However, it's I feel like I have to finish this first. And I did record it once when I first beat the game, the first time. And what happened was that I was not happy with it. I wasn't very happy with the recording. So I told myself, you know what, we'll do it again. But at the time, right, I was still uploading episodes of Pikmin 4. So I was like, I've got time to wait. And wait I did until there was a point where I was, far too busy to actually do it. And then, there's not necessarily laziness, but procrastination, I suppose. It was just like it was lurking. Like I had to do this video before I started anything else. So before we get into any new Pikmin or other related projects, I do want to play some other games, but today we're gonna do the Piklopedia episode. I did say I was gonna do this, and yeah, so because it's been so long, it's gonna be like I'm reading it for the first time again. And I do have a bottle of water here because I will be talking quite a bit. There it is, yep. Delicious. So, we have a lot of things, 125 entries in the Piklopedia this time around. And there's a lot of interesting enemies. I'm sure there are a lot of interesting, entries that I should read. I'm gonna kind of just go through and read the ones that are, ones that I feel like reading. Let me see if I remember how to do this. So, this is notes here. We're gonna mostly be reading Olimar's. Maybe some of Louis', I don't know. Probably not going to read the, the dictionary guy. That's his name, by the way, the dictionary guy. I'm not gonna read his notes, really. Dalmo. I'm not too interested in, non-canon characters. So, let's start off easy. Let's ease our way back into it. Let's look at the Dwarf Bulborb. Although initially identified as juvenile Bulborb, groundbreaking new research indicates that this creature is in fact a member of the breadbug family. A close relative of the breadbug, it escapes predation, I think that's how you say that, right? Predation? Through mimicry. Unique adaptation of the Bulborb's crimson coloration allows the species to safely commingle. Such effective adaptation and obfuscation. Sorry, I do know that word. This is a hard word to pronounce, though, in my opinion. Obfuscation. God, I always have to sound it out. By a prey species is rare, indicating this clever creature is a master of mimicry. Yep, so this actually something that was confirmed in Pikmin 1 all the way back in the day. For a blissful Biscay. I don't know what that is. Biscay? That sounds French. Mince the entire beast finely and stir with heavy cream, artichoke hearts, and a pinch of black pepper. Heat slowly until piping hot. Mmm, rich and creamy. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. Alright. So, Olimar seems like the lore guy, and Louis is the meme guy. I was trying to see if the Dalmo guy is more like a gameplay, like teaches you like what you should do to fight him, but it didn't look like it right there. At least from what I can tell. You know what, let's look at the new guy here, the Frosty Bulborb. A Bulborb with large amounts of ice and frost covering its midsection. It's unusual to find ice such as this attached to a living organism, as it's cold enough to freeze small animals and regenerates any ice mass that gets broken off. This Bulborb species intercellular stores... I'm sorry, what? This Bulborb species' intercellular stores of sugar, amino acids, and organic acids provide it with a plant-like resistance to freezing, making it possible for the Bulborb to touch the ice without freezing itself. Fascinating. Sear the rich and fatty meat on both sides in a dab of butter, then sprinkle generously with fresh thyme. For those who prefer leaner meat, I recommend the tip of the nose. Interesting. So that's cool. We get a lot of interesting information about the creatures. Let's just go through here. This one's interesting, the tusked blowhog. So I don't know if this is like the male blowhog, right? Like you see it has the same snout and everything as a fiery blowhog, but maybe it's like... That was my theory, right? Is that it was just like the male, kind of like cows and bulls. They're the same species technically, right? But they're different. Let's see if I was right about that. I'm probably not. Similar to an ancestor species of the fiery blowhog, this creature has a pair of sharp tusks that it uses to charge enemies with vigorous violence. It demonstrates its aggressive nature when it pursues its prey and when it's attacked by a predator of its own. In the case of the latter, the tusked blowhog will attack its attacker, causing them to balk while it can dash away to safety. The species also has an extremely sharp sense of smell, which it uses to detect the pheromone-like scent of its favorite food, underground mushrooms. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a different species altogether. I don't know, I thought it was a cool idea, but... I also like, by the way, how it tells you, right? So it tells its scientific name, Susmagdentum, as well as its family name, and then the when you can find it. So yeah, tusked blowhog being the family, I guess it is technically different then, right? Because this is, yeah, these are from the blowhog family. This is the tusked blowhog family. So it is technically a different species. I was wrong in my theory. And then all of these Mandiblard family, of course. Is this? No, that's a different family altogether. What is this thing? I hate this thing. The shear flea. I fucking hate this guy. The sensory hairs growing on this creature's orange body segments can detect body temperatures, movements, and carbon dioxide levels. It's oddly specific, but okay. It clings to its prey with its claw-like front legs, and it sucks their blood through the pointed proboscis. Research has found that the shear flea can store energy created while contracting its bellows-like body in the elastic proteins located at the roots of its hind legs, allowing it to repeatedly jump very high. Okay, so that's cool. There's like a reason why it can jump like that. Salty, sour, and sometimes sweet, the flavor changes depending on which living creature it's fed from most recently. That is not how that works, I think, but okay. That's a good one. I like that. You know, I hate the swooping snitch bug. Let's take a look at him. The scarpinids originally lived on the ground, sporting poorly developed vestigial wings. Olimar has a wild vocabulary, man. This species developed enlarged antennae that can be used as makeshift wings. Fascinating. Scarapanids are attracted by sight of large groups of Pikmin in cavalry formation and will swoop down to seize them. However, Scarapanids do not eat Pikmin, and they will drop any seized Pikmin after a short time. That seems kind of strange. Remove the wings, their antennae, first of all. Antenna. They're not wings. Marinate a well-marbled steak for several hours, a chipotle marinade, then charbroil to perfection. Okay. Take a drink there. Fiery Dweevil, Anode Dweevil, Hydro Dweevil, Ice Blown Dweevil, and the Venom Dweevil. These, someone can correct me in the comments. Did these names get changed? Because wasn't this called... I can't remember. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure they had different names. I'm not sure why they would change them, but they did. So that's nice, I guess. Man-at legs. Ah, my favorite guy. The species of Arachnorb family fuses with machinery at a crucial point in the maturation. It's mature as they're maturing. The process of maturing. Maturation, of course. That's how you pronounce it, right? I'm sure. Fuck. Giving it the ability to fire energy bursts from the launcher beneath its orbicular torso. However, the man-at-legs itself is not in control of this weapon. Instead, the mechanical portions of this structure appear to automatically acquire and attack targets. The man-at-legs has a gentle disposition, and as a member of the Arachnorb family, it has no natural enemies. It is particularly difficult to understand why this species would develop such awesome offensive capabilities. He's gonna throw out crazy vocabulary, and then he's just gonna hit me with the awesome offensive capabilities. Leading to rumors among the scientific community that it was the machinery that approached the Arachnorb and proposed the symbiotic relationship. As awesome as that sounds, what kind of machine is sentient enough to do that? It's very strange. The lore of Pikmin and its creatures is fascinating, and I love it. Although the meat is a bit on the metallic side, the oil makes a mouth-watering gravy or lubricative vinaigrette. Alright. I don't agree with that one. Let's check this one out, because... Oh, whoops. Oh, you can just do that. That's cool. Yeah, this is our boy here. The groovy long legs, dude. Disco. With mesmerizing lights that pierce through the darkness and a low groove that stirs your soul. How can you not get your dance on? Is it a creature or a machine? Who cares? Everyone can join this party. A word of caution, though. Be careful. Oh yeah, I lost my place there because of the scroll. Be careful you don't dance right under one of its feet. Oh, I read the wrong log here. This was Dalmo. I was wondering why it sounded so normal, didn't use crazy vocabulary. Here we go. I'll have trouble reading this one. This species has some remaining organic internal organs, but its carapace and eyes are made up of inorganic material. All 19 of its eyes... Are there really 19? It's crazy that they counted. All 19 of its eyes are actually photoelectric sensors that the species uses to precisely locate its prey. The gas emitted from its posterior of its first leg joints includes a chemical substance that, after making contact with another organism's brain, temporarily controls that organism's actions. The groovy longlegs uses this natural phenomenon called the endless dance to make its prey jump between its legs while it moves around in bizarre rhythms. I guess that confirms that Pikmin have brains? I don't know. This creature is mostly tendon, so it often gets stuck in your teeth. It smells like burnt plastic or possibly metal. You might want to see a doctor, Louie, if you ingested this thing. Oh my god. Oh, wait, we have other stats on here, too. Sparklium value, Pikmin yield defeated. I've defeated 4 anode beetles on this file, on this save. And it's killed 0 Pikmin because anode beetles are now absolutely worthless. Wait, can you even defeat these? Yeah, it has like unknown for everything. Scarab beetle. What is this considered? A heevel? Okay. Metites. Oh, I hate metites. Do I read the entry on metites? I guess so. These parasitic insects feed on eggs. Upon reaching maturity, They excrete a special pheromone that attracts females of particular species, enticing these females to swallow the metites whole. Pikmin, however, seem to dislike the scent. That would explain a lot of things. After entering the host female's body, the metites lay their own eggs inside the host's eggs, just prior to the host spawning. Oh, that is kind of dark, isn't it? Flash fry with garlic and red chilies in a hot pan, then sprinkle with grated gorgonzola. Gorgonzola? I think that's how you pronounce it. Gorgonzola. Not big on cheeses. Some dinner guests may find the legs unappealing, so it's best to remove them before serving. Understandable. Yeah, metites. I think that's a very fascinating creature entry. Let's take a look at the bread bug, the classic guy. The adult bread bug competes for many of the same food sources as Pikmin, but its thick-skinned hide allows it to withstand most Pikmin group attacks. However, some researchers claim to have observed bread bugs being overwhelmed by massive numbers of Pikmin and reduced to food. Interesting. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. I want to go back in there. I didn't read Louis. Bread bugs are hardy and nutritious, but also bland and unimaginative. They may be palatable in a pinch, but they hold no true culinary promise. That's interesting, because I think he said something similar to they taste like tofu, or they don't have a taste, or they don't have flavor in Pikmin 2. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't think I am. Yo, let's read this thing. What the hell is this thing? Sorry, I had to look at something. A type of primitive organism called a protochordate. Okay, protochordate. In its juvenile state, it has a skeleton-like structure called a notochord. It flaps its finned tail to move and lives within other creatures' eggs as it grows. Okay, so it seems also somewhat parasitic. Season with salt and pepper. That's all you have to say. Wait, so it's like an egg, huh? I guess it tastes like egg. I don't know. I can see that. It literally looks like egg yolk. Okay. Enough with that. Let us look at the Foolix. I was kind of upset that the Goolix didn't return in this game, so the Foolix being here is kind of neat. I kind of expected both of them to be in this game, to be honest, but after I saw the Foolix, but no, Goolix nowhere to be found. It is in the Goolix family, however. A member of the Goolix family, this primitive life form is made up of a single cell, which is quite odd given its size. Its nucleus is shaped like a bulbous star, and individuals move by... I'm sorry, hold on. And individuals move by using the fin at the end of its flagellum-like tail. Flagellum? Flagellum? I'm gonna get a lot of comments about my pronunciation in this. To quickly expand and contract its gelatinous body. Gently remove the jelly parts, add fruit and sweetener of your choice, then serve as a gelatin dessert. You know, that tracks, yeah, that sounds right. Give me 1 second to take a drink here. Alright, Downy Snagrit. The sight of this wee one boinging around and pecking at its food while skillfully balanced on its one leg is truly awe-inspiring. I'm reading the wrong thing here. Due to a common phenomenon known as imprinting, this baby will recognize anything that it sees or hears within a given length of time after it hatches as its parent, and consequently follows it around. Now, is that true in the sense of this game, right? Like, because these things can spring out of eggs sometimes, will it start eating Pikmin if it recognizes them as their parent? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Grind up the meat and cartilage, then mold into meatballs. The tender texture of the meat contrasts nicely with the crunchy, chewy cartilage bits. I really shouldn't have read this one because these are just babies. I do like the continuity, though, that the Snagrets only have one leg. I like that they kept that from Pikmin 2. Burrowing Snagret, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I want to read? I want to read the Puff Stool. We never really got a true entry of this since it was only in Pikmin 1. Come let us ponder the Puff Stool. Come one, come all, ponder the Puff Stool. This devious little bean releases spores. What is... Oh my gosh, this is Dalmo, that's why I'm like, this is some weird vocab here. I hate that it sets me on him first. I keep reading it. A type of ambulofungus. Yeah, see, now this sounds more like what Olimar would say. The current working theory is that the puff stool evolved from a more common species of fungus that gained animal-like characteristics over time, including the ability to walk, flip upside down, of course, and cook cap over a charcoal grill. Low and slow, once it starts to sweat, it's ready to eat. Good luck fitting this thing onto on a grill. It kind of just breaks the mushrooms, doesn't it? That's interesting. Really don't care too much about these guys, to be honest with you. Moldy Slooch. What else we got in here? Mamuda. You know, Mamuda has always had some strange lore behind it. Let's read it. Oh, look at the little image there. That's kind of cute. The imbalanced asymmetrical arms of the Mamuda are among its most notable features. Feeding on seeds and fruits, the Mamuda is known to actually sow and grow plant species. Oh neat, they're gardeners. While other species have exhibited seed-burying behavior for the purpose of storage, the Mamuda is the only species so far known to actually cultivate fields of plants. That is actually kind of fascinating. An animal that intentionally grows plants rather than unintentionally. Inedible, tastes like chicken. So it tastes like chicken, but it's inedible. Interesting. I want to say that tracks from Pikmin 2 as well. I'm sure they did the research. They probably know more than I do. The Wally Hops. They're called Wally Hops now instead of Wally Wogs. Rest in peace, name of the Wally Wog. The Chili Hop! Could have been the Chili Wog. And then the Master Hop. Sure. Water Dumples are fantastic. Oh, Puckering Blinos. Hate those guys. Ooh, the Grub Chucker. I want to read this guy. This ought to be interesting. This bipedal creature walks upright, so its motion is noticeably slow. But the long reach of its pincers is useful for catching prey and tossing it into the wide mouth on top of its head. When young, this mouth stays closed, and the grub chucker lives on things like shellfish, nuts, and fruits, using a small trophy located behind the feelers below its eyes. As it grows, this Sincipital? Yeah, I think that's Sincipital mouth opens and it can start eating larger quantities of food. That's interesting. It's a cool design for an enemy. I really like this thing. Fighting it is a pain in the ass, but it's a cool enemy. Pluck off the lips and serve with lemon and salt as an appetizer. Coat the arms and legs with plenty of miso for a full course dinner in a shell. Neat. Crawmad, Armrakid family. This guy is interesting. I don't know if I really care to read him though, especially when we have some really interesting things coming up here. Pearly Clamp. On sand hills or in the sea, wherever it may be, it never moves from its spot. It will sit and wait for someone to wander past. Someone being prey, preferably, though it could also be someone who knows the value of beautiful shell or the pearl it holds inside, nestled inside, sorry. Using the pearl that takes shape inside its body as bait, this creature lures prey into its interior and traps it within the shell to feed. It's also worth noting that the pearl may just be an amalgamation of outside materials wrapped in a viscous gelatin exterior? Really? Oh, I mean, yeah, there is like a little gelatin around it. I guess there is in Pikmin 1 as well, huh? Interesting that they made that like a little lore bit. On the frequent occasions when it cannot gather food for itself, this creature can also obtain nutrients when the symbiotic algae within its body photosynthesizes. For this reason, it can often be found with its mouth open on shoals or sandy beaches that get a lot of sunshine. Okay, that's an interesting way to explain that. Because obviously, clams in real life tend to keep their mouths closed. So why would this one always be open? It's because it needs to photosynthesize that algae so that it can obtain nutrients. Interesting. Heat in the shell over a strong fire to bring out the umami-rich juices. Okay. Finally mince the mantle and toss with noodles. Top with sesame seeds. That does sound pretty good, actually. I'm not big on seafood, though. Ooh, these guys are in the same family. I guess I could have guessed that. Mollusking. Toady Bloister and Bloomcap Bloister. This thing is... I don't like this enemy. This enemy is a pain. The Bog Swallow is what it's called. Alright, let's check out the Water Wraith. All that is known about this creature stems from a few sightings deep underground. All reported sightings feature the same core set of details, a giant, vicious form with a clear, hazy sheen, not unlike hard candy. One theory holds that it may be the ectoplasmic incarnation of a kind of psychic phenomenon. But as is usually the case with such theories, it is very difficult to prove. All witnesses report being suddenly overcome with fear upon sighting the creature approaching a state of panic and near insanity. In fact, every report contains an inordinate amount of extremely vague details, okay? Which has led to suspicions that exhaustion and fear have caused some simple natural phenomenon to be viewed as a living creature. So this thing's basically an SCP, is what you're telling me. Amphibiosapiens. I wonder what that is in reference to. At first I thought it was like Amphobia sapiens, which would make sense for it being like something that causes fear, a phobia. But no, it's an Amphibio sapiens. Inedible, known to cause mass hysteria followed by leg spasms and internal thundering. I think in Pikmin 2 it mentioned something about causing seizures as well. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Very difficult to think. Oh, the Pikmin all have entries as well. I probably won't read all of the Pikmin, but you know. Let me take a sip here real quick. Alright, the Smoky Prog's body is constantly deteriorating, so collecting a living sample has proven difficult, and research into the species has progressed at a glacial rate. However, by examining the genes adhered to the Smoky Prog's eggs, it has been confirmed that they are in fact Mamuta eggs. This discovery allows for the possibility that Mamuta that do not develop properly and hatch become Smoky Progs. I do remember that. That is lore from Pikmin 1. I'm glad to see that they really kept it all intact. If, hypothetically, a Mamuta were to remain above ground at night and absorb glow sap, that might impact the nutrient levels within the egg's yolk. That change could lead to the embryo's inviability or break down its enzymes, then maybe. Interesting. Interesting lore. I always thought it was interesting that the Smoky Prog was like a deformed or immature Mamuta hatched prematurely. I always thought that was an interesting idea. And I say idea, it's actually what it is in the game, but egg tastes best when smoked because it's the Smoky Prog. The flavor of the belly and the head is pleasantly warming. How would you... Okay, never mind. It's not important. Do I even want to read these? Pikmin Rubrus. Pikmin Auribus. Pikmin Sarula. As in like cerulean? Okay, that's cool. Pikmin... What does that say? Hobbisaxum? Okay. Sure. Pikmidae Valarosa? I don't know what that is, what that origin word is. What does this one say? Habiglacious. Okay, so glacial. Vinalbius? Maybe like venom? I'm not sure. Yokozunum. Okay, like a sumo wrestler. That's funny. Pikminidae? Yokozunum. I like that. That's cool. I like that they gave them all like official scientific names here. Oh, this is just Moss. Moss is like an unknown creature here. As far as I can tell, Moss has been a leafling pup since birth, and some of her DNA resembles that of the Pikmin. Excuse me. This is the one point in which she differs from Ochi. When Ochi transformed from a standard space dog into a leafling pup, I started to theorize that the Pikmin are, in some capacity, propagating their DNA in other organisms. The phenomenon in which all those castaways including myself, became leaflings was very likely caused by being absorbed into the onion. Perhaps that process was also some sort of Pikminification of the body. Pikminified organisms can't leave this planet, so the Pikmin may have been motivated to carry out this process in an effort to secure a permanent leader. Of course, this is all a theory. Convenient for producing ingredients, compact with a tight turning radius. What? Okay, I don't want to think about that. Does Louis talk about eating these? I think I broke a tooth on one of these. Yeah, he does. That's awesome. What does he say? Looks like a pick carrot. I bet it tastes good, but I'm practicing self-restraint. Okay. When I look at it, all I see is ears. That's fucking... I look at that mouth and want to put my hand in it. What? Just to see what would happen. Okay, the developers put some weird thoughts into Louis here. I'm throwing that out there. Once had a dream that I was abducted by a winged specimen. That's funny. A kitchen essential, used for freezing ingredients and storing leftovers. Oh, not meant to be ingested. Best used as bait. Yeah, because they poison anything that eats them. I figured that one would be a bit more interesting, but yeah, it is what it is. Very heavy. Tenderizing the meat would be way too difficult. Oh, so they'd be like really chewy, I guess. Wait, does that mean Pikmin have meat in them? I thought they were strictly like plant. But I guess they're like animals that are plants. That have plant appendages? I don't know. We can look at the onion. Wow, that image of the onion looks wild. A majesty of nature? Oh. Wrong guy. Sometimes it lies dormant. Sorry, Domo. Sometimes it lies dormant, much like a bulb, but dig it up from the ground and provide it with the right stimulus, for example, a good hard shake, and it will activate sprouting 3 root-like legs. It serves a role similar to a nest or an incubator for the Pikmin, absorbing pellets or the bodies of dead creatures for their nutritional value, and then propagating Pikmin of the same color as itself. Onions also seem to greedily attempt to replicate certain characteristics of the matter that they absorb by combining with or absorbing other onions, sometimes of the same type. It's been confirmed that just like Pikmin, an onion has muscle fibers in its body, and though it is unable to walk, it is capable of a small range of motion. However, when the one breaks down the biological matter in its absorbed in when one breaks down the biological matter it has absorbed, a fuel similar to bioethanol is created. Onions spray this fuel out of the mouths of their underbellies and are able to fly using their flower-like propellers for Stabilization. If you look closely, you'll see its legs are sprouting a dense layer of hair. Okay. Does Louis talk about eating this thing? Saute in oil and add a fragrant spice to your dish. But eat too much and you'll smell like it for days, so it is like garlic. Okay. That's clever. I don't know what I was expecting. What does Louis say about this? Way too spicy for a salad, no matter what color bud you use. Interesting, they're all spicy, huh? Interesting that he tried to use them in a salad. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this Pikmin. Doesn't smell alive. Oh, God. What does that mean? Smells a lot like an onion. The green juice is particularly delicious. Okay, that's true. The glow sap is probably an edible thing. What does Olimar say about glow Pikmin? Because this is an interesting... Oh, he has a lot to say. Alright, let me prepare myself here. Although they've been named glow Pikmin, it's not entirely clear whether or not this species is actually a type of Pikmin. These creatures possess the same fundamental behaviors of Pikmin, like carrying things, propagating, and fighting. They also share special characteristics, such as the leaf atop their head, yet they do not spawn from an onion, but a luminol. And they are only active at night or underground. During the day, they revert into seeds and enter a resting state. What's even more surprising is that they exhibit no signs of life. When a glow Pikmin dies, if that word can even be used, it does not expire in the typical sense. Instead, it just becomes a form of light, or perhaps a photon, and returns to the luminol. Putting aside my scientific hat for a moment, it seems to me that this creature or entity may not be a living organism at all, but some manner of spiritual substance. So, what it sounds like to me is that the luminol produces these things as a way to protect itself, and therefore perhaps glow Pikmin are an extension of the luminol in itself. Like, these things are maybe either made out of glow sap, or like Olimar says here, they're like a photon or light that the luminol produces in order to simply just defend itself. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. It's also strange that the glow Pikmin isn't up here with the other Pikmin types, so there might be something there. Ooh! Dry out the fruit and grind into a fine consistency, perfect for adding a touch of spice. I think that's the first contradiction I've seen. In Pikmin 3, it's mentioned that they're inedible and that they can't be used for food. So, how is Louis able to eat them? Or maybe he just uses it to slightly spice his food? Grind into a fine consistency, maybe. That one's a bit vague. I feel like that might kind of lean towards contradicting Pikmin 3, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are covered there. Let me know in the comments. And then, of course, I didn't skip him. The Ancient Sirehound, I wanted to save him for last. He's the final boss. We'll read his entry here. He's got a big one. If we harvest, oh my god, what is that word? Mesenchymal stem cells from this gigantic canine creature and cultivate them with glow sap, the generated serum should return Ochi's leafified tail to normal once administered. These results would indicate that 99.9% of all of the canine creature's DNA matches Ochi's, and that the only difference between Ochi and Moss may be the natural presence or absence of a leaf tail. If these two theories prove to be true, it would suggest that the possibility that this ancient creature is a common ancestor to two canine species from vastly remote star systems, and that perhaps there are even more hidden secrets out there that could hint at a fascinating yet inconceivable truth the universe has yet to reveal. Pikmin 5? I don't know. Interesting. It's also interesting that in this image here we see the Sirehound with the collar, even though we took the collar. Technically speaking. The ultimate ride, plush and comfortable. I wish I could bring it home with me. Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do, Louis. Okay, well that is pretty much all we're gonna do with the Piklopedia. I probably could go through a couple more of them. There were some that interest me, like the horned cannon beetle, which I guess is technically different from the armored cannon beetle, but you know, whatever. Yeah, there are other interesting logs in here that I might read on my own time, but for the sake of the video, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. We've done everything that we wanted to do in Pikmin 4 now. Oh, why couldn't I? There we go. That's strange. We've done it. We've done everything that needed to be done, and a lot needed to be done. Not really, just the Piklopedia. So I hope that the Pikmin 4 experience was everything you guys were hoping it was. I, for one, enjoyed this game. It, of course, had its problems. I think I've talked about them briefly before, such as, you know, obviously the auto lock and whatnot, but at the end of the day, Pikmin 4 is definitely up there. I mean, the control issues are big. I can't believe that they, you know, they changed controls after getting it pretty much perfect in Pikmin 3. Pikmin 3 Deluxe even. Just give me those controls. Those controls were beautifully perfect. But as a game, as a whole, Pikmin 4 is pretty cool, and I do want to return to it in the future for the channel, perhaps with a challenge run or something or other. I'm not sure yet. But otherwise, I do want to look at other Pikmin mods and mods for other games potentially. We'll probably go back to doing something like that here soon, if not within the week, then maybe soon afterwards. I don't know. I'm really hoping, but we'll see. We'll see. If there's anything in particular you think I should play, go ahead and leave me a comment on that as well, and I'll we'll look into it. Of course, no promises, because there are set things that I want to play, but maybe the order in which I play them, perhaps we can you know, move things around. Otherwise, guys, my throat is starting to hurt from all this talking, all this reading. So I hope you guys enjoyed Pikmin 4. It feels so weird to say that this is the final episode of Pikmin 4, but it is. So thank you guys, and until Pikmin 5, of course, we'll be back. See you then. Too spicy for a salad, no matter what color you use. Interesting, they're all spicy. Interesting that he tried to use them in the salad.